think we're going live. It's nothing worse when people don't know they're live and they keep talking, isn't it? That's probably what I'm doing now, because last time it said I was going live. I actually didn't. All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is looking very strange. Right, we're here now. How's everyone doing? Welcome to Music Mondays with me. I am your host. My name is Ben Lasky, and I'm just going to get the comments up on my iPad so that you can ask us all sorts of glorious questions, whatever you're doing with your Monday night. Nice evening, isn't it? Just in the kids' playroom at the moment. It's been an interesting day, filled with Zoom calls, as I'm sure most of you has been. We'll get going in just a minute, and I will introduce my special guest. Special guest. Is it one or two? Could be two guests. Could be one. Get comment in. We'll answer any question you throw at us. Well, I certainly will. My guest will probably give it a good old go. We'll wait one more minute. Who's with us? Let me know you're here. Let me know you're here. Come on. What does everyone think of my haircut? Just the sides. Just the sides. It's called Forge Youth on my on the feed there, but you might be able to see. It's because I'm so young. I get the youth account. So young and precious, good looking, handsome, talented, humble. Right. Cool. Welcome to Music Mondays with Ben, everyone. Each Monday we take the opportunity to chat a little bit about music. Some of the music that we talk about will be church music. Some of it will be not church music. We don't really like to put it in a camp. We like to talk about this and that, a bit of everything. Sometimes I'll have a special guest. Sometimes I'll have special guests. And sometimes it'll be just me. But today I have the wonderful and brilliant privilege of introducing my two guests tonight. Guys, where are you? Join us. Hi.
Bonjour.
My favourite people, and yours too. It's Kat and Finn Johnston. You're the best in the world.
This is nice. Keep going.
Do you feel affirmed?
Any more compliments you want to chuck our way?
Yeah, I want to talk about both of your hairs for a minute.
Okay.
Kat, you have got great hair all the time, and it is blonde.
Yeah, a bit blonde.
And Finn does not have great hair all the time because of how it grows, but you have made him have great hair because you're a good wife.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Crushed it.
You're not feeling good about it?
Well, it's not as good as the barber would do it, is it?
That was literally her standard, Ben. Her standard was, if I can't do it as well as a barber, I don't want to do it again. She said, give it one go, and if it's not as good as a barber, I'm not doing it again.
Right, well, let's hope quarantine gets over ASAP.
Yeah, let's.
Your hair
I had one shot.
so quick. So, guys, can you introduce yourself quickly for those that, I mean, who doesn't know the Johnstons? For those that don't know, for those that are watching that aren't from the Forge, who are you and what do you do?
Go on then, ladies.
Oh, I don't really do much.
Sexist, bit sexist, that. I don't really
So-
see the gender of you two. See you as the unit, really.
Okay.
I'm going to introduce you and you can introduce me.
Okay.
This is Kat Johnston. Kat
Yes.
is a mother of two children, and at the moment, during quarantine, that takes up all of her time. When she's not in isolation and hiding away from coronavirus, Kat is an amazing teacher. She works at a place called Thrive in Stowmarket, based out of the Mix, and she loves to educate and empower young people. She's amazing at it. She's an amazing mum, amazing wife, and she's part of the Forge too. She is sometimes part of the speaking team. She sometimes hosts. She's been part of the music team, and very talented lady.
Thanks.
Cool.
And how do you feel about Finn, Kat? Why don't you introduce him?
Okay, I will. So Finn is my husband, and he is dad to our 2 wonderful children and an incredible dad. And he works at the Forge 2 days of his week. And that's as communications director. Have I got the job title right?
That's good. I'm not even sure about that half the time.
And so he does a lot of stuff that I don't really understand. I don't really understand all this social media stuff. Like,
You're not even on it, are you?
nah.
Not a single social media account here.
Yeah, the fact that you've got me on here is crazy.
Well, the fee was high, but we decided it was worth it.
And yeah, so he's comms director, and so works with an incredible team, and yeah, does loads of amazing stuff with that. And then he also works 3 days a week. I guess it's freelance, but it is actually at the moment it's for an organisation called Digital Church Toolkit, who again are involved with marketing, social media for churches across the country, across the world. And charities too. So yeah, loves doing that. As I say, does a lot of stuff I don't understand, but it blows my mind. And obviously in the world we're living in at the moment is really important, really significant, and just so important for churches, charities, for all of us to stay connected. So yeah, amazing human being.
Nice introduction. And the thing is about both of you is one of the reasons I've got you on. I keep looking down here, by the way, because this is where I've got the comments going on. So don't think I've ignored you if I'm looking down here. I keep getting the comments up, but they keep vanishing for me, and I don't know how this works. Right, because we got some good people. The Moores are joining us. Dan Marsh is here. Paul Austin is here. Trevor Frost is here, and there's loads of great people. Really old Helen Bolton is watching. So yeah, I thought Helen would be doing her roots actually instead of.
I think Helen's hair's looking good, actually. I heard you make that comment.
Natural. So yeah, the reason why I'm chatting to you two is because not only are you great musicians, and we've worked together in music quite a long for a little while now, and led worship a few times together, but also I really rate you two as music nerds.
I think Finn more so than me. I think
I don't know. I feel like uncanny ability to just learn lyrics in one listen.
I kind of think like Finn's gone too far, Kat. Do you know what I mean? Like he's going to talk about some music. It's going to be like, Finn, shut up. No one cares about this gig that happened with 5 people underground. And it was amazing because everyone held their breath whilst the lead guitarist blew oxygen into their nostrils through their high E string.
Wow.
I think you're going to be like, oh, yeah, I love this tune from Frozen. And everyone's going to go like, yes, Kat, woman of the people.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
that's great. Thank you.
The other interesting thing is that Finn used to do my job.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
So there's a bit of insight there. It's not awkward. Why did you get sacked again? Oh, no, you didn't. So I've actually I've come up with some incredible, mind-blowing questions that are going to rock the world of these guys, and I am going to share them with you. And if you guys have any questions, I'm still trying to get them up. I'll work on that whilst you're talking. I'll get them up on my phone. That's probably easier. So we're going to go through some questions. We might even play a bit of music. We're going to sing. Should we sing a bit as well? If that comes into it.
Give it a go.
Sing. You guys don't really know what's coming up because you've literally just put your children to bed and have dinner. What did you have for dinner? It's not one of the questions. Questions haven't started, but
like a stir fry thing.
Delish.
It was good.
Details.
More details.
Yeah.
I don't really know. I don't know what the real name for it would be, but it was like a pork stir fry.
Noodles.
Noodles.
Veg.
What sort of sauce have we got going on?
I don't know. It was it came like pre-marinated.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So it's quite dry. It wasn't like a.
No. It was kind of like, added a bit of soy.
Okay, this is what I'm talking about. So you added a bit of soy. Dark or light soy sauce? It
was light soy sauce.
Okay.
A bit of lemon in there because I didn't have any lime. So yeah, those sort of vibes.
Oh, brilliant. Well, it's good to know what you've been having. Helen has been on and said, Fear Not by Kat and Finn was my Christmas highlight. You can catch up on that at forchurch.com. Kat and Finn, mostly Kat. Don't know why Finn's getting the credit there.
Too much, yeah.
No, you were involved in it.
I wasn't even allowed on stage for that one. Ben, I just think like just cluttering the stage a bit. Yeah, brilliant. Great. Cool. So I am going to ask you my first question.
Yeah.
Are you guys willing to answer anything I throw at you?
Yeah. Probably.
I'll start off with an easy one.
Yeah.
What song at the Forge? Well, Finn, you've been in a few bands and that, haven't you? And Kat, I know that you've been in like musicals and that, innit?
Yeah.
What has been the song that you have found hardest to learn in your times as a musician?
Okay, I'll go first, but mine's going to be a church song, and it's going to be probably on the basis of like lyrics.
Okay, yeah.
So I really struggle with songs like where it's got like 5 verses.
Oh yeah.
You know, and so for example,
the old ones.
Yeah.
Like
In Christ Alone was the first one I thought of.
All the time. Like, and you'll know, like, once the first line has been sung of that verse, you'll be like, okay, I know where I'm going now.
Yeah.
But then, so like for recently, Living Hope.
That's a good shout.
Yeah.
Banger though.
Yeah, I mean, I love that song. But yeah, tricky.
But you don't love it because does it like get to a point where it just winds you up and you can't even listen to it anymore?
No, not that necessarily. But I just find it frustrating that I can't quite.
You are a phenomenal lyric.
That's either perfectionist side then, is it?
It is 100%.
This isn't therapy, by the way. This is light-hearted chat. What about you, Finn? What's like the hardest? Because you're into some weird stuff, man. Like Finn's like into.
Oh yeah.
What is it about? How'd you do it?
Wow, amazing.
Horrible.
I like a range of music. That is true. Yeah. So I actually remember there was one day when I pulled up outside the church office and I was picking Ben up, and I think I had Slipknot on at the time, and Ben got in the car, and I hit next track to go to the next track, and it was a Kendrick Lamar song. That's a rap artist, if you're not aware. And then I skipped the track on again, and I think it went to Elevation or something, and I was like, okay, so Ben's at home now. I feel much more comfortable with this.
Yeah, this is four chords, I can hear everything.
Yeah. I just remember you laughing and being like, that's you. They summed up in those 3 songs. So I think diversity, variety is the spice of life. So
would it be a song like that though that was your most difficult to learn?
So like historically being in bands where there's time signature changes and you're trying to learn, it's just like you're trying to learn it from memory. You can't, there's not really a reference point. Do you know what I mean?
Well, we cheat not in church. We have the words up on screens. Like sometimes we have the words on the back screen.
I know. It's inside a secret there, Ben. Don't give secrets away. I just have a terrible memory. So lyrics, I'm just like, sometimes it's songs that I know really well, and it's not even ones that you're talking about that have got like a lot of different lyrics. Sometimes it's like there's only one verse and one chorus, and your mind just goes blank. I'm sure you've all been there, but
What about when we recently learned Pray by Take That?
And learning dance moves is way harder.
That was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Forget any sort of hard chord or chord progression or time signature. Trying to dance and sing, not even at the same time, but near the same time, was probably the hardest thing I think we've all ever done, including childbirth, right, Kat? Cool. So what's your favourite song to play live? Including, like, whether that's when in the band days or leading worship, or what's your favourite song? I'm just going to grab my guitar in case we need an interlude.
Favourite song, Kat?
So I'm going to go down the church route. So Living Hope actually is probably
nice.
to lead, but also What a Beautiful Name.
Oh, classic.
Banger.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I think probably I haven't actually led music for a little while now, but I had the privilege of leading at Encounter not too long ago, and I got to lead well, some people
Good Grace.
Good Grace. Yeah,
Good.
there you go, there's my memory. Loved it. That was one of my favourite times of leading a song, and I don't think I'd led it before, so it was like a fresh experience for me, and it was just so fun. It's just like a fun song, like it's true and it's powerful, and it's like, yeah, it's just like, yeah, that was great. I loved that, so that'd be up there.
That is an absolute banger. But that's like one of those ones. Kid's got that whoa, whoa,
yeah,
whoa. Like if you lead that, like it's one of those ones that you arrive at church at like 7:30 and you're like sound checking, you're like,
yeah,
you're like, oh man, no one's going to get behind this.
Yeah.
Then you get to like 7:30 in the evening.
Yeah.
You got a couple of hundred people in the auditorium. And you're like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just goes off, you know, like.
Exactly that.
And I think that's like that song is it's in the bridge and it's swing wide, all you heavens, let the praise go up as the walls come down. Creation, everything with breath, repeat the sound. All his children, clean hands, pure hearts, good grace, good God. His name is Jesus. I think that is probably one of the worst, best bridges ever written. Like, clean hands, pure hearts, good grace, good God. Like, it's just awful.
Just random words together.
Perfect and works so well. I think it's the best, worst bridge ever written.
Yeah.
What is a song, or sing a song or play a song from an artist that you look up to?
Oh, that's good.
Oh no, you go first this time.
I can play it.
We have some of the same artists, don't we?
Yeah, we do. There's a. I was playing this earlier, so it's in my head. So I'll play something. I'll just play a chorus, just something quick.
I feel like you've done that thing. I mean, I'm probably guilty of it as well. It's like, I'm really not prepared. Here's my Yasford.
Yes, exactly that.
What is it?
Yeah, so there's a band that I love and loved growing up called Alexis on Fire. It is a heavy band. I will put a little precursor out there. Not Christian, nothing like that, from Canada. But one of their members, this was like, they were quite big in like early noughties sort of time. And then one of their band members, he like split off and did his own thing. And his voice is literally phenomenal. And so I listen to him a lot. A guy called Dallas Green, but he kind of as a solo artist he tours under the name City and Colour. Some of you might have heard of him, but like I would suggest that to anyone. Like, yeah, if you haven't heard of him before, like check him out. Like, his voice is insane.
So it's not heavy. So the band he's from is heavy, but that stuff's not heavy.
Exactly. Yeah,
it's kind of, I like it.
Almost folky, I would say at times. And it's like a phenomenal guitarist, phenomenal vocalist. And one of his songs was Our First Dance at Our Wedding.
Oh.
And that was I wish I could do better by you, 'cause that's what you deserve. You sacrifice so much of your life in order for this to work. While I'm out chasing my own dream, sailing across the world, please know that I'm yours to keep, my beautiful girl.
That's so sweet. I'm welling up over it, guys. You know I am.
I definitely do not know how to do that one, as I messed up several times in just that chorus. But yeah.
Zoom's doing something to the audio that's like super compressing everything, so you can barely hear guitar. It sounded great.
Okay, fine. Yeah, so
there was no harmony.
I would definitely say, like, I just love, I look up to, love his stuff. Like, yeah, man, if I could sing or play like he did, I would be a very happy man. But yeah.
What about you, Kat? Who do you look up to? Jesus.
Yeah. So I have to say, I mainly do listen to worship music. Like I hate to like be that person, but I do. Yeah, like love Elevation stuff. Yeah, stuff that Beth are putting out at the moment's great. Yeah, so I love listening to worship. And then I love Beyonce.
Queen Bee.
And I do like pop stuff really. I found out who Lizzo was recently and decided I like Lizzo a lot.
Right. Lizzo.
She's all about a strong independent
news round. Same guy?
Yeah.
Lizzo Mazumba.
Yeah.
Yeah, same guy.
Yeah. So yeah.
I've just seen that Jess Thomas has put yes, Kat in the chat, and I don't know what that was to, whether that's Elevation, Beyonce, or Lizzo.
I mean, I reckon Jess and I have got pretty similar taste in music.
Yeah.
I love at the moment.
And then I do like a Disney soundtrack.
Of course.
And you can blame that on your kids, but that is not the reality of the situation. But it's a good excuse. Yeah.
No. Yeah. I've seen your Spotify. Like we're like Spotify friends, and I can see you listening to Disney when I know the kids are at school.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. We watched the new Trolls movie last night with Isla, our daughter, and
very spiritual.
There's an absolute banging song on there, and we put the soundtrack on today, and I reckon I put the new song on about 4 or 5 times, definitely for her benefit. How'd it go? Just sing like da 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 da, louder than ever, ever, 'cause they're gonna sing, just sing, da 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 da, and they're gonna listen, forget everything, just sing. It is a banger.
It's very catchy.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I'm literally enjoying myself so much right now because I love you guys so much.
You stopped streaming this about 20 minutes ago, didn't you?
Say again.
Stopped streaming about 20 minutes ago. This is just for you.
Yeah. This is yeah. We just did this the other night. We were on FaceTime for like, I think we checked and it was well over an hour, wasn't it?
It seemed like 20 minutes, and
yeah,
it was a long time.
It was.
What's your favourite throwback song? Worship or otherwise? What tune do you like love a throwback on?
Okay, right. This for me is the OG worship song.
Oh.
When the music fades, and all is stripped away, and I simply come, longing just to breathe something like someone that will bless your heart. I'll bring you more than a song, for a song in itself is not what you have required. You search much deeper within, through the way things have been. You're looking into my heart. I'm coming back to the heart of worship, when it's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus. I'm sorry, Lord, for the thing I made it. When it's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus.
Love it. I love it. I love it.
It is like, it's so old now, but it is like,
I think,
like,
yeah.
Like it's like, I don't want to just reference the title, but when you want to get back to the heart of like what it all matters, and just that little like refrain he sometimes does in the live version where it's like, I'll bring you more than a song. It's just such a good reminder, such a good grounder of like, hey, do you know what? Like, it isn't even about the song. It isn't even about the words. And even
Do you know how the song come about?
Go, shoot, tell me.
No, you go. I'm asking to bring a story out now.
No, I don't think I do.
What?
Do you know where that song comes from? No.
So this guy called Matty Redman, he
Don't
he's
pretend
not
like you
even
didn't do that on purpose.
You literally said that whole thing up just so you can say that. Unbelievable.
no. So he was part of a church. I don't think it was Soul Survivor. It was the one before that. He was part of a church, and Mike Pilavachi was leading it, and it became Soul Survivor, whether it was Soul Survivor or not. And this is all from memory, by the way, so if it's wrong, sue me, Matty. But basically, they got a bit carried away in their services, and they kind of experimented with getting loads of lights in, loads of new sound stuff. And they felt like they'd lost the heart of what it was all about, what the worship time was all about.
Yeah.
So Mike Pilavachi, just one of the great leaders of this generation, I think, he stopped worship in his services, considering hundreds of people come in just for that. It was getting quite a name for itself. But he just felt like the heart behind it had gone, so he just completely stopped it. And the weeks went by, and he's, when is it coming back? When's it coming back? Not till we get the heart back, not till we know why we're doing it. God's going to reveal his heart of worship to us. And I think it was months. And then Matt Redman, part of Mike Pilavachi's youth group, came up and said, I've got this song.
Yeah, I love it.
And he got up and shared it kind of completely unplugged. And I think they ended up singing it for about 20 minutes. And obviously the worship ministry of Soul Survivor since then, it's just totally loaded.
Right.
That's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I think Trev Frost is probably on. He always wants me to sing that song. And it's great because I love it. But man, that song is so special.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for me, that's not one I just whack out. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
it's good. Yeah.
It's so like,
yeah.
I think I've led it twice, like on a Sunday or at a worship night or something.
Yeah.
But not because I don't think it's great. It's because of how like almost sacred it is. Is that the wrong word to use?
No, yeah. I know what you're saying. I do know what you're saying. Yeah.
Right. God, got to bring it up a bit now. That was quite powerful. Loved hearing you guys sing. What is a song that you never get sick of playing at church or hearing in church as people that are also part of congregations? What song is it? Like, there must be songs that you just roll your eyes at, and then songs that you love.
So I will let Kat answer this one. However, I want to put a caveat in beforehand, which is that Kat has this tendency to latch onto songs and then we'll play them in the car, in the kitchen, around the house. Like, she will latch on a song and it will literally be all she plays. I mean, she references it earlier and she's like, she heard a Troll song yesterday and she had it on 4 or 5 times today. So that gives you a little insight straight on it. So I think you're a good one to answer to one where it's like, even though you play it a lot, you don't ever get bored of it. Is there one you think of?
Love, Lion and Lamb.
Oh, of course she does.
I do
Lion and the Lamb.
Yeah, I do love that song. I need to look at my phone because then I need to think about which songs that I love. It's hard because I think I do eventually get sick of songs. So like a worship song I absolutely love is "How Great Is Our God."
Tune.
But we never it's not a song that we sing necessarily regularly now.
Sing with me, how great.
What else? So yeah, "See a Victory," love it.
Tell you what, for me, "Do It Again."
Yeah, banger.
Never
That's
get bored of
fresh.
it. Just when that bridge hits, you're just
Yeah.
like, oh yes.
See
Yeah.
you move mountains, and I believe I'll see you do it again. You made a way where there was no way, and I believe I'll see you do it again. Another Matt Redman song.
True.
Never get the creds for that one.
There we go.
Yeah.
That is like another that's another one that you can end up like sound checking to, and it's got like these big stabs and like you're doing it really early in the morning, like this is just never ever going to go down.
Yeah.
100 people like worship night, you start like it's like a battle cry. It's like we talk about how like aggressively like we sing it sometimes just because of, I don't know, it's just like such an outpouring of the heart, and it's like a longing, isn't it? From us, it's like it's a battle cry, isn't it?
True.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Do you want to sing one? Do you want to sing one on that?
No.
No. Cool.
What do you think?
She never gets sick of it until tonight.
We put that on and the kids are dancing to it, innit?
Yeah.
That's so cute.
Yeah, that makes me happy that they
love it.
jumped about the lounge singing that. JJ and Isla at the top of their lungs. Beautiful moment.
If you don't know, we've got kids similar ages. That's why we're referencing them. What is your current favourite single? It should be an easy answer.
You go.
Like church song or none.
Whatever. And look, guys, let us know in the comments as well, anything, because we're always looking for new music.
So this is something interesting that I was literally just thinking about this evening. I think I do listen to a relatively, it's definitely not as high as it used to be when I was younger, but I definitely do listen to a large amount of new music. I like to hear new stuff, and I think what's interesting is definitely my music, the music that I listen to over this kind of time of coronavirus and lockdown and all that has definitely shifted. And I was just thinking about that earlier. It's I wonder if there's something psychological about the fact that I'm going to way more nostalgic stuff, way more kind of old school stuff. I recently this week I set up a playlist, just made a massive playlist, and it's all it's Buddy Holly, it's the Eagles, it's and I called it old school. It's
Trying to remember or core stuff, memories from the past, I guess.
Yeah, it's all really stuff that was written before I was born. Do you know what I mean? But it's classic, old school, nostalgic. Don't give me that face. I was not born in the 70s. You absolute. So yeah. So and I was just thinking about Dare. I've definitely in the last month, since this has been the reality, I've definitely not listened to new stuff, and it is a sense of I think maybe that I'm just looking for that kind of that warmth of these are just classic songs that everyone knows the chorus to. I mean, Sweet Caroline and stuff like that, where it's just you can belt it out. Yeah, everyone's on board.
No.
Yeah, except you can't.
So after this, then you go to your record player.
Yeah.
What's the one tune you put on?
What would you put on?
I don't know.
Linkin Park. I need to go get my
Maybe
baby.
Linkin Park. Maybe. What's your single that you listen to most at the moment?
Probably Elevation or Oh yes, I will.
Yes, Rachel just said about that in the comments. We got to start doing that song. I put it on the COVID playlist.
Yes, that's a banger. So that fair play. That is awesome song. I'll tell you what. The only song that is new that I have not stopped listening to is Rattle by Elevation.
Yes.
That.
Live. And Graves into Gardens good.
Graves into Gardens is good. I think Rattle's better personally.
You turn graves into gardens. You turn bones into armies. You turn beauty Beauty, you make beauty from ashes. You're the only one who can.
Yeah, man.
Love it. Yeah, someone else just said Graves into Gardens. By the Grace of God. Oh yeah, that's a new one. That's on the new Bethel Peace album.
Yes.
I don't know it yet.
But I heard it's
Can't
good.
say it all. But yeah, the new Bethel Peace album is like really good. Like if you're struggling in this time, I'd definitely check that out. Someone said, how's this go? Oh, Christ be magnified, the author of my life. Christ be magnified in you, and oh, Christ be magnified. Don't know that one too well, but it's a tune. Oh, Egypt. How does Egypt go, man?
Oh, Egypt is good.
You stepped into my
Egypt, took me by the hand. You stepped into the promised land.
Yeah.
And how's the chorus?
Hold on.
To the promised land.
Never forget you. I'll sing of all you've done. You have can't remember it.
It's like half time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, when it goes into that halftime, yeah.
it's great.
I want to say, there's nothing
No,
better than you. That's
not that.
great.
It's, you're the God who fights for me, Lord of everything.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. You're the one who does for me.
You have led me through the deep.
Love it, man.
Yeah. So yeah,
Tommy Fairweather. Hey, Tommy. Big love, Tommy. It said indescribable. Now that's a throwback. That's not
that's not a new
it's
song,
a
Tommy.
great
There's
song.
no two ways of putting it.
guys. If you haven't seen the indescribable series or talk, what is it? A keynote? What like? Have you seen the DVD?
Yeah, what is it? That's when it's a tour. It must be a tour from a
Yeah,
tour.
it
It must
Yeah.
be on a Sunday, yeah.
So good. Indescribable, uncontainable. You place the stars in the sky and you know them by name. You are amazing, God.
Yes. Who you say I am? Jess Thomas. That was played on
Oh,
Sunday.
did you notice I sung that on Sunday?
I love that you snuck that in.
Yes,
Because I've got beef with that song.
singing it in the week, and Isla loves it, so she was absolutely chuffed.
Oh, good. Good. Yeah, I've got beef with that song. And I
Yeah,
tell you,
okay.
for why.
In a good way.
I tell you for why. You know, like, I get annoyed when we sing songs about ourselves.
I did exactly the same thing this week.
Yeah, Kat literally was like, "This is quite a like self-obsessed song, isn't it?" I was like, "Yeah, I suppose so."
But it's like, it's definitely got its moment. And that's why I sang it on Sunday. Like, I never want to let my...
Yeah.
I'm aware that I'm getting darker and darker, by the way.
Yeah, you are.
You can still see me.
You know,
Um,
like one side lit. Oh, that's it.
It's because this side is the garden, which God turns graves into.
Graves into God. Cool, nice.
Yeah, Kat, go on. Talk to us about that.
What?
About singing about ourselves, being self-obsessed in worship.
How do you feel about that?
Well, fine. I think, well, no, I don't think we should be self-obsessed in worship at all. I think Finn and I had a good conversation about it on Sunday, that song specifically, about how I think it's all right if we're singing it with the right attitude. So like not singing it in a like, oh, me way, but in a, God, thank you so much that actually you choose to love me, that you give me value, and I'm just grateful for who you say I am. So you're not saying, oh, I'm incredible. It's a bit like that Lauren Daigle song, You Say.
Yeah.
You know, if we're coming at it from a self-absorbed perspective, then that's not good. Whereas if we're coming at it from a reverent, I guess, perspective.
I don't think we can get away from it because like ours is a personal faith. Do you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, it's not about a collective like who God, you know, it's about our relationship with God. It's, do you see what I'm saying? It is like if it's not a personal faith, it's not really a Christian to some degree.
Yeah. So I agree with that. So I think that's why I struggle is like when we focus on that as corporate expression.
Yeah, good shout.
Like we've got such a small opportunity, maybe 3 or 4 songs.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about ourselves.
Yeah.
Instead of praising God for who He is. And
This is the one time of the week where we all get together in normal circumstances, and you know, collectively, and we become a community that's focused on one thing. And then like you say, we've got this maybe 15 minutes max, and we're like, oh no, we're going to take a third of that to actually just go back to let's just focus
on me, Jesus, and all this is from me.
Anyway,
we're not dissing your choice, by the way, Jess. We're just
the only thing I would say is there are certain lines within that song that I think are the sort of lines that need to be sung. Just like the ones like "You are for me, not against me." Like I think every Sunday there's probably someone that needs to hear that God is for them, not against them. And so there's those sort of lines within it.
That's why you sing "You Make Me Brave."
Sorry?
That's why you just sing "You Make Me Brave" instead. You are for us, you are not against us. Champion of heaven, you made a way for all to enter in.
So then be the vibe.
What about the Lord bless you and keep you, make His face shine upon you. That song has just been.
I love it.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I can't wait to lead that one with a room full of people.
Yeah. It's just amazing. Love it.
Jess Thomas has agreed with us, and she's saying this is good taffs. So I just feel like I just totally rubbished her choice, but
No.
I think we justified a choice of anything.
Yeah.
Right. Let's move on from this question because we could just go around play. Paul Davison, you got some cracking tunes.
Yes, Paul. But.
We'll see you break down every wall. We'll watch your giants fall. We cannot survive when we praise you. We got breakthroughs on our side. Forever lifted high. We cannot survive when we praise you.
I don't know that one.
That's Brandon Lake.
Yeah.
Sue Finn looked like before he cut his hair. Oh, Helen's got the blessing on repeat, which is good because she was actually there when that verse was written in Numbers.
Helen, bless you. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for being part of this.
We love you so much.
You're probably getting the impression that every time you comment, you get slated. So I want to encourage you that I appreciate your input.
You only banter with people you love, innit?
True. Very true.
That's true. A song that I do often have on repeat, I've just thought of it, is the Passion one. Bigger Than I Thought.
Oh, that is a tune.
You're bigger than I thought you were. You're bigger than I thought.
I stop all negotiations with the God of all creation. You're bigger than I thought you were. You're bigger than I thought. Oh, that's a tune.
When I heard that, I was sure that I'd heard that before. Is that fresh off that album?
That lead line, that din 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 sounds it's like almost identical to that Sigur Rós song that the BBC used for ages. It's like so close. It's shamefully close, but hey, it's a good little lead line.
Yeah.
Right, I've got a great song, a great question for you, in which it's kind of like a loaded question, hoping that I can get you to sing. What is your favourite song to sing as a family?
What is our favourite song to sing as a family?
Right. So, we at the moment all absolutely love Frozen 2 soundtrack.
Yes, this is what I was queuing you up for. I was so glad that you got the telepathic signals.
Yeah, so the thing is though, we've all been given characters in Frozen 2. And
Okay,
so,
I haven't seen it, so can you do this without spoiling it?
You should never break character.
like, so
if
we're not
any of
allowed
us
to.
sing Elsa's lines in particular, we are dead
Honestly.
meat. Like, it's
Brilliant.
not allowed. So,
Brilliant.
yeah, we have a small dictator in the house that ensures that everyone sticks to their parts.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Into the Unknown on that is like, we just love going crazy for that song.
I
Come
can
in.
love you, but I won't. Some look for trouble, while others don't. There's 1,000 reasons I should go about my day and ignore your whispers, which I wish would go away. Whoa, whoa.
You're not a voice.
You're just a ringing in my ears, and if I heard you, which I don't, I'm looking for I did. Every night and every man is in these walls. I'm sorry, secret siren, but I'm blocking out your calls. I've had my
adventure.
I don't need something new.
I'm afraid what I'm risking if I
Follow you into the unknown. Into the unknown. Go for it, Kat.
Go for it.
Into the unknown. Go.
I'm sending you claps for that. That was sick. And that is exactly what I wanted you to do, and I'm so
the
happy.
only time I've been able to sing that song, I think, in my life.
You said it quite low. That's good. Isla, when she sings it, it's like,
At least she's committed, though. Rachel has said, please tell me you're doing this as the Forge Fancy Dress Challenge.
Oh, we should for the isolation challenge.
oh yeah, we will. We'll try and do that. I don't have an Anna dress though. I'll find
Really? Sort yourself
I'd
out.
like one.
You
I
like
would
that?
like an Anna dress.
You can borrow mine.
I just got frozen dresses to go for spare, so don't worry about it. We'll be fun. Yeah, that's
You should get Ruben a little Olaf dress.
Yeah, we'll make that happen.
Olaf dress, Olaf outfit.
Yeah, we'll make that.
Brilliant. I've got one final question before we hand over to questions from the public.
Okay.
What was the first song, Finn, that you learned to play on guitar? Because you learned quite late, didn't you?
I mean, learned is.
Do you know 4 chords?
I know the 4 chords that make up every worship song. That's. Yeah, but as you know, Ben, if I'm having to bar, it's not gone well. So like, I mean, that was just about a bar. Yeah. So first song I learned. It probably was a worship song, and it probably was something like old school. I feel like it was a Tomlin song.
Yeah, the thing is, you were like thrown so in at the deep end, really.
Yeah, talk to us about. Tell us about it.
Did you even know how to play the guitar before we gave you the job? Am I
No,
allowed
not-
to say this publicly?
I don't know if I did. It's a great question. I can't remember all the facts of it, but I definitely, at the time I applied for the job, I couldn't play the guitar. Was kind of encouraged to think about it. Like, I had led a lot, but just led like from the mic, not played an instrument. And obviously, as you all know, Ben, and I'm sure several people part of this will recognise having an instrument when you're leading makes it a whole lot easier, because you can kind of dictate, and worst case scenario, if it just cuts back to just you can keep a song going, and you can take a song where you want to take it. So I was just like, kind of need to get that down to a degree, which is as far as I ever got with it, really. Did some kind of basic guitar lessons and was very much just thrown in the deep end. But as Ben will attest, like, all worship songs are like 4 chords, and if you can get those down, it's basically like every song is. So let's just think of some of the songs that we did tonight. So when the music fades, all is stripped away, and I simply come. So everything fits pretty much on those 4. She went with that, and definitely was like
I'd
a bit.
like to say that is all songs, not just.
Well,
I
that is.
think worship music gets a bad rap, but it's like that. Into the Unknown will be the same.
Yeah, you're right. You were right. I remember we did an opener once, which was 4 chord songs, and we just did Beatles. We did chuck everything in. It was just the same 4 chords the whole way through. So that is kind of true. Pop music generally is kind of 4 chords. So that was definitely like a bit of a leap of faith, and it panned out fine.
Remember the first set you led? Do you remember the first set you led on guitar? I've got a weird memory for stuff like this, so you probably.
I know. I can tell you for a fact that Forever is in it. Which
Yeah,
again,
good. That's a four chord wonder, yeah.
Forever he is glorified. Forever he is lifted high. Forever he is risen. He is alive. He is alive.
You do that for 20 minutes then?
Huh?
Did you do it for 20 minutes?
Pretty much. Yeah. I think it's did that 4 times maybe. I don't know. But yeah, that was definitely in it. I remember because that is a 4 chord wonder and a great song at the same time. So yeah.
I think this is like the first Easter I haven't sung since last Easter, or haven't sung in it on Easter for the first time in a long time.
Okay, yeah, good shout.
So, right, so we got some questions coming in. If you've got a question, guys, at home, then please put it in the comments here, and we'll do our best between the 3 of us to answer it as honestly and as truthfully and as quickly as possible.
Could just be a fun one.
Ruth has asked if you've ever written a song for Kat, Finn.
I don't think I have. Have I ever written a song for you? No,
so.
not to my knowledge.
Go.
Well,
Imagine if he did that. If he was like, well, actually.
This is it. This is all part of our plan.
We've got the 4 chords down.
No, please don't write one now.
No, I'm not going to do that. No, I, let's be honest. I don't think you'd really like it, would you? I don't think that's something that you'd be like, oh, that's nice. You'd be like,
would you not like to be serenaded? I thought every girl, everyone wants to be serenaded.
I like Finn singing, but I feel uncomfortable.
I think you'd feel weird about me
it.
just singing to you.
One of our friends, the day she got married, her husband to be had written her a song, and he was like the least likely person to. Ben wrote one for Luce, didn't he? Yeah. He's like he was like, no one expected it at all, and he sent it to her on their wedding morning, and it was like beautiful, and we all just cried. Like even Finn was in tears. It was gorgeous.
Even Finn.
Wonderful.
Stone Cold Finn.
Emotion.
Stone cold. Yes.
Oh,
so
wow.
that was incredible, and that was beautiful. So
yeah,
you set the bar high.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe the bar's been set too high now.
Yeah.
It's horrible to have talented friends because you just feel completely inadequate all the time.
Good point. Very good point.
I would know.
Likewise.
Same.
But good question, Ruth. I like that.
Yeah.
And
maybe he'll think about it.
Maybe I should do it. Yeah. Maybe that's something that I will fill my time with. Yeah.
Adrian's been on. He's just criticising me really because I promised him that I'd play a live at some point, and he's marked it in his calendar. Last time I played it was last Easter Sunday. It's because we're struggling for musicians at the moment. That's a tune that needs.
It does need to fall back. Yeah. You can't do that. That is a great song.
Yeah.
You are alive in us. Nothing can take your place. You are all we need. Your love has set us free.
That reminds me. Whoa.
Thank you.
Though, I'm pretty sure, Adrian. I don't think I'm giving away any secrets, but I think I seem to remember you said once that you put that on your gym playlist or your workout playlist. And that brings me on to another pet peeve of mine. It's people that listen to worship music while they're trying to work out. I do not understand that. That's all Kat listens to while she's working out. Is like,
no.
How do you I'm not getting into a reverent space. I just want to be like, oh, I'm hating life while I'm trying to exercise. So I don't want something like worship music.
I honestly
escapism
so many times when running.
Am I people that are tuning in live? Am I mental with this, or am I right? If you listen to worship music while you do exercise, let me know in the comments because I would love to know that.
What's the passion song that we've introduced recently at Forge?
There's nothing that I got.
Yeah. So I reckon I had that on repeat on a run the other day.
Does it have to be quick, Kat, or can you do because I quite like Defender, anything kind of elevation-y that's do it again, great running song, great boxing song, great or do you have to have the upbeat tunes? You have to have your Elias and your.
No, so then what else?
Karen Austin listened to the Forge Upbeat playlist whilst running this morning.
Yes,
Thank
you.
Karen.
That's not
You're a
bad.
hero.
Although I've got the Durrance on my side from the looks of it, so.
Well, Ruth's got the right idea. She's just decided not to exercise. So
Actually, you know what? Yeah, she wins. Well
Just
done.
listen to the music.
Correct answer.
Yeah.
That's the actual only good answer here.
No, it's great, honestly.
Zoe Bolton's with me. Yes.
I think I've got that New Wine as well I listened to recently. Yeah, so it's not.
New Wine.
You are making new wine.
It's the most like reflective, like power ballad. Like, oh my god, that would not make me like, come on.
So, okay, where does DC Talk fit in this? Because I think Jesus Freak is one of the best exercise songs of all time.
DC Talk I would allow, because I wouldn't really call that worship music. Sorry, Toby Mac. So yeah, they do have some worship songs, but I think some of their stuff like Extreme Days or something like that is like, that's just all out like rock rap in it, really. Let's be honest. Like, so yeah, I'd allow that. I allow it.
Okay. Someone's asked me when I'm collaborating with Ed Sheeran.
He phones you all the time, to be fair.
He does.
That is the truth.
No plans.
What? He doesn't phone him all the time, does he?
I see Ben's phone ringing all the time, and it's got Ed Sheeran on
Ed Sheeran, if you're watching, call me right now.
Who is Ed Sheeran?
Ed Sheeran, I assume.
It's not.
Nettie Wildman loves DC Talk. So that's...
It's classic.
Comeback hasn't gone well, though, is it? That should have stayed in the 90s.
Yeah, bless him.
But, right, is there any more question? Jess Thomas has said no, he doesn't. What does that mean? Does anyone understand Jess Thomas?
I think she's saying that Ed Sheeran doesn't phone you all the time, Ben.
Ed Sheeran, if you're watching, I'll text him and see if he's available.
Who is it though?
Ed Sheeran, I assume.
It's not. Why are you doing this? No, don't text him. I don't think Ed Sheeran.
How does that chorus start? Make me a vessel. Make me an offering. Make me whatever you want me to be.
That song that passed me by.
All that you can be. Jesus, bring you wine out of me. Jesus, bring you wine out of me.
It's an amazing song.
That's a beautiful song.
Yeah, that song is just
that bridge where there is new wine, there is new power, there is new freedom. Ed Sheeran's calling. Look at that.
I'm just trying to think who it is.
What's that?
Always calling you, isn't he?
I'm just doing a Facebook Live. What do you want to say to the people? They want to know when we're collabing.
Can you actually, Finn, can you reveal who it actually is?
I honestly don't know. I've seen that he's Ed Sheeran.
I'll speak to you later.
It's someone in his family.
What else are people saying?
Tommy's asked for Rent Collector.
My lighthouse. How's it go?
My lighthouse shining in the darkness. I will follow you. Whoa.
Oh no, it's on the 6th. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness. I will follow you straight to shore. Oh, this is a good one. Why do you love Florence in Italy so much, you two?
Oh, why not?
Why wouldn't you love Florence, Italy?
We do love it loads.
Are you joking?
Well, we do love Italy a lot. So we love good food. Ice cream is my favourite thing in the world.
Cat's a bit of an ice cream fanatic, and they're good at that. They're good at the old gelato, aren't they?
Pizza, pasta,
Pizza, pasta,
wine.
coffee, wine. It's probably my
weather.
answer. It's
Florence is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's full of incredible restaurants and lovely shops and coffee shops. Just great to mooch and
we tend,
beautiful place.
we tend,
lovely people.
I think for the record as well, it's worth saying that we tend to go there out of season.
Yeah, we tend
or
to go in like October.
Historically have. So it's quiet, which most people's experience of Florence isn't. It's like mental.
It's still quite busy, though,
mean,
isn't it?
Yeah, okay, but manageable. And yet, like, still, we've always had pretty good weather and stuff. So, like, basically, it's one of those places where we've been several times. Every time we go, it's just always like idyllic. It's just chilled. The pace of life is so good.
Yeah, we love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Are you on your laptop at the moment or on your phone?
Yeah, on laptop.
Lynn's asked to see Arthur. Is that doable? Or...
That's not doable, and I'll tell you for why. He ain't here.
He is alive.
Oh,
still.
yeah. It definitely must.
Arthur is our dog. He is at Finn's parents' house.
Yes.
He's having a little coronavirus holiday.
Tommy Fairweather's asked a good question.
Yeah.
Would you and Kat ever go to the USA?
Oh, yeah, definitely. So for those of you who don't know, Catherine here is half American. She has dual nationality.
Do you know where were you born?
I was born in England, but I was born at Lake.
Okay. Wouldn't you just love to say you were born in the USA?
That's another family favourite is Party in the USA, Miley Cyrus. There's a party in the USA.
I love that song.
I think that was written by Jessie J.
Yeah, I think it was. I think you're right.
Was it?
Yeah. I think you're right.
Anyway, yes, we love America so much.
True.
And we would definitely go there.
Rachel said anywhere is lovely child free, but you actually took your children to Florence, didn't you? Well, Isla.
Yeah, we did once.
No.
But we tend to go child free. So Rachel is right. That's very true, actually. Yeah, most places are nice when you enjoy them.
Nettie's asked what your favourite cake is.
So what I really like, and this might be a controversial decision, I love a carrot cake with the proper icing. What's the icing?
I so nearly swore that.
Cheese frosting.
A carrot cake.
It's so good.
It's such an idiot.
Excellent.
That is like my go-to. Like when people I know that are amazing at baking, Jake Moore, offer to bake me something, I'm like carrot cake, and it's so good.
Yeah.
Underrated cake. Put it out there. Kat, what about you?
Do I like cakes that much?
There we go.
I don't. Let me tell you, I like cookies.
Yeah,
I like chocolate brownies.
Brownies, yeah.
Again, Jake Moore makes a great chocolate brownie.
That's true.
What else? Yeah, I do like carrot cake a lot. Courgette cake.
Shut up. You're actually taking the mic.
I made my brother a courgette cake for his birthday recently. He loved it.
What colour was it?
It was good, really good.
Rachel Derwent, this is brilliant. She's with me on everything. She's like carrot cake with green cheese icing. Yes, absolutely. Too right.
I would like to add something to the conversation.
Go.
And I don't think it is cake, but it is better than cake. Is Kat Johnston's cinnamon swirl?
Oh my days! Yeah, actually, that's my favourite cake.
Does it count as a cake?
I don't care.
Sure it
That's my
does.
favourite
Bread,
cake.
isn't it?
Yeah, it probably is bread. Yeah, Kat bakes a phenomenal cinnamon swirl.
They are delish. But I think that's just because it's got so much sugar in it.
Yeah,
like, honestly.
And again, it's just like absolutely like lathered in icing. Yeah.
For me, it's a drizzle. A drizzle is better than a coating on the icing.
There we go.
Good to know, thanks.
Good to know.
Right. Well, I did write you a letter, Kat, asking for some.
Very formally, actually. Yeah, you did. You requested it.
I love that. In the letter in the post.
Claire's going to bake you a cake now. Claire.
Claire. We love you.
Yeah, that's another good shout. Done.
Any food by Claire.
Yeah.
I have been benefiting from that this evening. The lovely Mully household brought me around dinner because I've been feeling a bit low. So they brought me around some meatballs.
What absolute heroes.
It was divine. Heroes. So, right. Well, we need to wrap this up. Any closing comments or thoughts? Best song in the whole entire world. Go.
Oh, Ben, come on.
Play the best song in the world, or I'll eat your soul. Sorry, that's all that came into my head when you asked that.
Can we just become best friends?
It's too hard. I would struggle to say my favourite song in each genre.
Oh, I ask him this all the time. He's
She
like,
does.
oh, I've got, which genre?
Like, even if you narrow it down to genre, I'm like best rap song. I would be like, I literally couldn't tell you.
Your favourite Craig David song?
Oh, let's talk about Craig David. We can have a music chat and not talk about Craig David. What's your favourite song, Kat? Can you top 7 days?
Yeah.
So 7 days, right? 7 days, I don't understand because I always thought it was church on Sunday. That's how I just remember learning it. Because
actually, yeah, he's missed.
I think that's a good lyric.
He's gonna be gutted when he realises he's missed that. He's mugged himself off there.
Church on Sunday.
Church on Sunday.
Perfect, right?
It works.
Fill Me In's great song.
Fill Me In is name a song.
Well, they're just all quite sexual, aren't they?
Yeah, they are all a bit. I forget this. They are.
They're yes.
It's all a bit sleazy.
He likes the ladies. There's no two ways about it, is it?
Yeah, Craig David, outstanding artist, wonderful.
That's a good question for you, Ben, because Kat and I had the privilege of seeing Mr. Craig David live. Obviously, it was phenomenal. What's your favourite live show, non-church based? Was it news?
That's different.
That's
the
Champions League final.
I know. I hate to do a Finn, but that really does depend on what you're asking. So there's like points for fun, and there's points for like music. Then there's points for like just overwhelming visual audio stimulation. So I think Bruno Mars or John Mayer was probably the best musically incredible concert I've ever been to.
Yeah.
I think I've seen like Busted like 3 or 4 times and McFly.
You have, of course you have.
And when they did like the McBusted stuff, like when they initially kind of reformed for that, me and a bunch of friends went to that, and it was just a massive party of all of your old favourite tunes. So I genuinely remember that as one of the best concerts I've ever been to.
Oh my word, Nettie's put that Linkin Park live were awesome.
They are awesome.
They are.
Yes, Nettie, that's a great shout.
Absolutely incredible.
I think that was that one of the first records I bought when you got me a record player?
Yeah.
Linkin Park Hybrid Theory.
Oh,
yeah.
One of the greatest albums of all time.
Oh, great album.
And Rachel, I will call you Rachel Durrant for as long as you keep your name as Rachel Durrant on Facebook. So I know your name's not Durrant, but
yeah, I think the Linkin Park and Jay-Z.
Oh my days!
It's probably one of my favourite EPs of all time.
Yeah,
it's great.
Agreed.
It's just like a subgenre of awesomeness.
That was just one of those albums where it's just like, this shouldn't work, and you've just taken 2 artists that I love but would never have put in the same room, and it's just like. What
annoys me though is that Numb is not the best record on that album.
Agreed.
It's
Time Problems.
Yeah, why does Numb get all the plaudits? You're right.
Don't know. Right, guys, we've got to go. This is supposed to be an hour long, and we're going on and on. Thanks so much for joining us. What are you guys up to now?
Gonna eat yogurt and 1,000 Easter eggs.
What sort of yogurt?
Melacona.
Ah, what sort? The fruit corners?
I like the berry ones. And the chocolate ones.
Do you like tip and stir, or do you spoon, or do you?
Finn tips because he's got the biscuity ones, whereas I spoon it in.
Okay.
I've got the.
Is this the level of conversation we've got to? This is unbelievable.
Well,
these things to do with their lives and listen to
these are the kind of conversations we have in life.
Yeah. I eat them separately.
You're a joke. You've been locked up for that.
Honestly.
That is out of order.
Right. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. This will be available on forgechurch.com/online as soon as I get around to uploading it. Probably not tonight. I'll probably do it tomorrow, first thing. And we love you. Until next week, this has been Music Monday. I've been Ben Lasky. That's been Finn Johnston and Kat Johnston, or Deborah Johnston, depends how you call her. And we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Love you all.
Bye.
Adios.